Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Pam and today's video is going to be my December 2020 wrap up. So the year 2020 is finally over. Yay, finally. So this month I read 6 books. So that's way better than November. If we remember, November I read 2 books only. It was not a good month. December was better. Not great, but better. I'm just gonna start with some stats for the month. So I read 6 books. Like I said, I read 2,545 pages. I listened to 43 hours and 32 minutes of audiobook. My average rating was 3.75. It's pretty low, but I think I know why. So I'm just gonna explain it when I'm gonna dive into the books. I read 1 contemporary, 1 dystopian, 1 fantasy, 1 mystery, 1 science fiction, and 1 thriller. Really diverse as genre-wise. I listened to 5 audiobooks and I read 1 book that was physically. 4 of those books were by male author, 2 were by female author, 4 were adult, and 2 were YA. So let's just dive into each book that I read this month. The first one that I completed is The Death of Mrs. Westaway by Ruth Ware. This is my third Ruth Ware that I've read this year. I read The Turn of the Key in February, and I read One by One in October, and I read The Death of Mrs. Westaway in December, and this is my favorite. Oh my god, it was so good. So good. 5 out of 5 star. The characters, the turns, the twist, the plot, oh my god, it was incredible. The reveals, there were multiple. It was just amazing. Really amazing. I absolutely love that book. If Ruth Ware writes more book like this one and The Turn of the Key, because The Turn of the Key I really enjoyed, I'm gonna read it for sure. One by One, yeah, we remember, didn't like it, but this one was amazing. It was so good, seriously. Like, I have no words. It's like a close second to like Gone Girl. Gone Girl is like my favorite thriller of all time, okay, and The Death of Mrs. Westaway is close second. Like, it was so good, so well crafted. Like, it was amazing. The ending was not rushed, which is really something that I always complain in my thrillers in my mystery books. It's the ending. I hate rush ending. Hate it. This one doesn't have it. It's well wrapped up. It's just, it's so good. So good. If you have read other Ruth Ware's books and you haven't read that one and like you didn't like the other ones, please give it a shot for this one because this is amazing. Really. Next, I reread How to Be an Anti-Racist by Ibram X. Kendi. I reread it physically, so the first time that I experienced that book was through audiobook in the summer of 2020, and I really enjoyed my experience with the audiobook. But when I was reading it, I wish I had the book physically because I wanted to take notes. I wanted to underline some stuff. I wanted to highlight some stuff. You know, I wanted to do like a proper study of the book, and I couldn't because I didn't have the book physically at that time. So not a long time after I bought it, and now I have a physical copy. I don't have it right now because I lent it to one of my really good friends so she can have her notes and she can read it and just enjoy it like I did. But yeah, I highlighted some parts, I write my notes in it, I put post-its in it, and I love that experience of just reading it physically. It was amazing. And I don't rate my nonfiction, so that's why my average rating is really low, because this one is like 0. Seriously, it's so good. If you have one book to read in your lifetime, that's the book. Okay, that's the book. If I could buy a copy of this book for everyone in the world, I would do it. Seriously, it's a must read, okay? So read it, please. Thank you. You're gonna thank me later. The next book that I finished in December is The Wife Between Us by Greer Hendricks and Sarah Pekkanen. I gave this one a 4.75 out of 5 stars. I really, really enjoyed it. And I'm really, really happy because Anonymous Girl was not my favorite. Really not, okay? My most disappointed books of 2020 video is coming. And I talked about Anonymous Girl, how I was so disappointed in it. So I was scared to go into that one, and I'm sorry if you can hear my cat. He's playing like every time I'm filming. Sorry. I was really scared to be disappointed by that one because I was so disappointed with the other book that I wrote by them. And maybe that's why I enjoyed it as much, because I didn't have a really high expectation for this book. But wow, it was really good. Seriously, it was really, really good. And I yeah, I loved it. The twist and the turn, and you think you know where the story is going, but you don't. Okay, you just don't. You don't know where they're gonna take you, and it's really surprising. And yeah, I loved it. Really, really enjoyed it. So because I didn't like Anonymous Girl, but I loved The Wife Between Us, I'm gonna give them another shot. I know they have another book called You're Not Alone, so I would try that one, and let's see. But yeah, really enjoyed it. Next book that I finished is my reread of The Ask and the Answer by Patrick Ness. This is the second book in the Chaos Walking trilogy, and I absolutely loved it. This is a 5 out of 5 star. Of course, it's just, you know, so good. The Knife of Never Letting Go is amazing. So, so good. The Ask and the Answer were introduced to new characters. We're also expanding the world. We're learning more about the aliens on this planet. And it's just, it's so good. And the two main characters are separate. And you know, I was like so anticipating when they were gonna come back together. And I just love Todd, Viola. They're just amazing characters. Patrick Ness has a way with words that just, so good. And in the first book, we only have one perspective, Todd's perspective. This one, Viola, also have a perspective. So we have two narrators. I listened to the audiobook. I absolutely loved the audiobooks. It was such a great experience for those books. There's a different narrator for Viola and another different narrator for Todd. And the acting, the performance of the audiobook is amazing. It's really, really good. So if you want to read this series, maybe try the audiobook. They're really good. Really, really good. Next book that I finished is one of my new favorite book of all time, which is a lot to say, and that is Mistborn by Brandon Sanderson. Oh my god, the hype is worth it. Like, I couldn't imagine that with all that hype, it would be that good, you know? Because, oh god, this is hyped on BookTube. This is like really hyped here. And I was like, oh, if I don't like it, it's gonna be embarrassing, and maybe it's just me, like I didn't get it. But like, nope, this was fucking amazing. The characters, the magic system, the politics, the world, the villain, the plot, the relationships, the writing is just, oh my god, it was so good. So good. I want to go back in time and slap my younger self and be like, read this right away. Because I've had that book like for so long on my TBR. Okay? I think it's been since 2015 that I've had these books, like the first 3 books in the Mistborn trilogy on my shelf. And I just picked it up December 2020. It was so good. 5 out of 5 stars. Amazing. I can't wait to read the other one. So good. So worth it. And finally, the last book that I finished in December is All American Boys by Jason Reynolds and Brendan Keeley. This book is so relevant. So relevant. It's just, oh my god. I'm giving this one a 4.75 out of 5 stars. It was so good. This is so relevant. I think that book was written in 2014. This book was written in 2015. So it's not been a while, you know, it's been 5 years only. And this is so relevant even to this day. And it's crazy that in 5 years, there's nothing that's been done for police brutality towards young black people, or just black people in general. It's crazy. And 5 years, okay, and more. It's been decades. And in this book, we have a black teen perspective, and we also have a white teen perspective. And I really enjoy that, to see the duality between the two perspectives, the two teenagers who grew up not in the same way, with the same privilege. We see the process of the white teen is going through. At first, he doesn't feel responsible for what happened to the other boy. He's like, it's not my problem, it's not my responsibility. But throughout the books, he learned that yes, it is, because he is privileged. Just being white, he is privileged, and he has a responsibility to help people who doesn't have those privilege, and doesn't have that voice, and doesn't have the power that you have because you're white. And that's beautiful to see in a young man, a young person that just go through this process, and just understanding that yes, he needs to do something. There's some things to be done to help everyone and to help the oppressed. And I loved it. I really loved it. I think this book should be mandatory to read in high school for everyone. Everyone in high school should read this as a mandatory reading. And I'm gonna say the same thing with like The Hate You Give. Okay, those two books needs to be read by young people. They don't need to read white male classics books, okay? They need to read modern books that just depicts what is going on right now in the world, not what is going on in the 1800s, you know? That's my opinion. Yes, this book was amazing. I read great books this month. Like, seriously. Like, December was like an amazing month. So, I'm ready for 2020, and I can't wait. So this is it, guys. This is my December 2020 wrap up. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.